Yo, what's up, Pride Nation? Back at you with another video on today. This is Raw Detroit. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also, click the bell so that you'll be notified whenever we put up an upload. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into the installment. All right, guys, it's going to be a great question for the fan base. It's going to be a great question for those that want to know about DeAndre Swift and what the Detroit Lions ultimately need to do. Now, the question on the table is, should the Detroit Lions move on from DeAndre Swift? And you can answer this question in many different ways. But definitely, man, Swift is an explosive running back. He's very good with the ball in his hands, and he is definitely one of the Detroit Lions' best offensive weapons when he's available and when he's on the field. And now the thing about it is that should the Detroit Lions decide to keep DeAndre Swift, is he going to continue to deal with injuries throughout his career? And so far, the question is yes. He's been dealing with a lot of injuries, and basically he can't stay on the field. And I know in Hard Knocks, Deuce kind of challenged him to be able to be out there and sometimes play hurt. But sometimes you can't go out there and give it your all if you can't really go. Because right now, currently this season, he's been dealing with an ankle injury and he's been dealing with a shoulder injury. And I know that shoulder can be definitely sensitive because basically, you're running the football and you're gonna have a lot of contact. Guys are gonna hit you. And I just don't think currently that DeAndre Swift can handle the durability of the NFL being a full-time starter as a running back. The way that the Lions have been using him is pretty much like a scat back anyway. He's only been getting like 10 to 15 carries a game, something like that. He doesn't get a lot of carries in a game anyway, per se. So maybe the Lions may want to keep him and use him as a scat back and still decide to draft a running back, or either take a free agent running back. Now, the two top free agent running backs that you have that'll be available, and there's going to be more running backs available, but the two top ones is Saquon Barkley and Kareem Hunt. Definitely, those are two guys I would love to add to the roster. Saquon Barkley is having a resurgent year over there with the Giants. The Giants are playing some good football right now. And definitely, man, who wouldn't want to have Saquon Barkley on their team, or a Kareem Hunt? We know that Kareem Hunt is a #1 running back. He's just playing behind Nick Chubb. And with Swift not being able to stay on the field, maybe the Lions could hold on to Swift and just use him as a scat back and use him in different type of situations and stuff like that. Maybe that's something that the Lions could consider to do, because ultimately you're going to have to think about it, whether or not you want to hold on to him and give him a contract extension. I know a lot of fans say, nah, I don't really want to trade my best player. But if I can get a king's ransom, or if I can get some good quality picks for Swift, then maybe I decide to let Swift walk and I decide to get some more players or draft a few running backs. And today I brought a couple running backs with me. Definitely, I think that Bijan Robinson is going to be a first-round talent or a second-round selection. Blake Corum is having a great season for Michigan. He's ripping off a lot of touchdowns, a lot of big runs, and Blake Corum is definitely balling. Now, some say that, man, why would we want to get Blake Corum? He's a little small, just like DeAndre Swift. So maybe could he handle the workload? But this dude is he's just like a muscle hamster. This dude is compact, built, and definitely he's very durable. And then, you got guys like Zach Charbonnet, who was formerly played for the Michigan Wolverines and then transferred over to the UCLA Bruins, and has been balling ever since he's been out in UCLA. So definitely, man, there's some ways that the Detroit Lions can do this thing. They can get any of these guys in the draft coming up. And I know that you guys say, man, we should just get all defense only. But there's a couple pieces that you can add. If you can add to your team that's going to enhance your team and make your team better, then you add them to the roster. And I definitely think that Robinson is one of those guys that you would want as a RB1. Charbonnet is a guy that you can use as a RB1. I didn't put him on here, but even Sean Tucker out of Syracuse is a guy that you can look at to be an RB1. Blake Corum is definitely a guy that is very good, man. He's small, but he is really, really good. So the Lions really got to make it up in their mind and decide what they're going to do with DeAndre Swift going forth. I know, the season has to still continue to play out. I think it's like 10 or 11 games left, and they still have to play the season out. But they need to know what they're going to do as far as with Swift. Are they going to give him a contract extension to be a glorified scat back in Detroit and grab another running back? They got a lot of decisions to make, whether or not to keep Jamal Williams on the roster, things of that nature. Yes, they need to get a defensive tackle. Yes, they need to get a defensive end. Yes, we need linebackers. Yes, we can use another safety in the corner and things of that nature. But I don't think that the Lions will draft all defensive guys. I think that it will be mainly defense, but I think that they will probably grab a couple offensive guys as well. Right now, you just don't know what direction the Lions are going to ultimately head into. But that question on the table for you fans, what do you think? And leave it in the comment section, guys. What do you think that the Detroit Lions should do with DeAndre Swift? Should they keep Swift a part of the team and just have him as a scat back? Or should they move on from DeAndre Swift, try to trade him and get some compensation for him? There's many ways that the Lions can do this. I love Swift, and I think that he's a great football player, but he just can't stay on the field. And if you can't stay on the field for me, then I can't use you, and the team can't use you. Then we have to make the hard choice or the hard decision to maybe move on from DeAndre Swift. And I know this is saying a lot, but definitely this is something that the Lions are going to have to think about. They're going to have to really, really think hard on how they're going to utilize Swift going forward, because it seems like he's going to continue to be getting 10 to 15 carries, and he's going to continue to share that workload with Jamal Williams. And most of the running backs in the NFL now are run by committee. It's not too many running backs that are out there toting the load. They're getting help now from a second running back, which is good, because you don't want to kind of get that guy tired out, or you don't want to get him injured or anything like that or banged up. So sometimes being able to play the run by committee helps the backfield stay a little bit more healthier as well. But that's the question that is on the table for you Detroit Lions fans. Should the Detroit Lions move on from DeAndre Swift? Because I know that we all in love with Swift, and we love what he brings to the table. We love the intangibles. We love the skill set. But this guy just cannot stay healthy. And it looks like it's going to be another season with Swift being banged up and in and out of the lineup. And we just need something that's going to be durable in the backfield. Whether or not the Lions decide when it comes to the free agents to grab and go out there a Saquon Barkley or a Kareem Hunt, that's totally on them. But they probably may not, because they may not want to pay the money that those guys may be looking to get paid. Saquon Barkley definitely is out there balling, having a resurgent year. And then Kareem Hunt, we know, is a number one running back, but he's playing behind Nick Chubb. And I definitely think that Kareem Hunt would be a great pickup, because he can catch out the backfield and he can also run the football as well. And he's a little bit more durable. He's been banged up too a couple times, but I don't know if it's been as much as DeAndre Swift have been banged up. So definitely, man, I can't wait to see what's going to really, really happen with Swift throughout the remainder of the season, because if he can play the rest of the games, I think that's going to be a great thing for the Detroit Lions. But if he's in and out of the lineup, then it's going to be tough, and Detroit is going to have to make the tough decision that they don't really want to make. You don't really want to let go one of your best players, but they may have to let him go to make sure that they can get this roster better and be able to understand where this team needs to go, because we need some star players on our team, man. We don't have too many impactful players and star players on the squad, and we really haven't had that running back like Barry Sanders on this team yet. We haven't had a guy that has come in and been running back for years and years and years and been able to be productive every season. It's been like so many different running backs. It's been like a carousel of running backs coming in and out. And we want to be able to get that guy that can be that RB1. We want that guy that's going to come in and work hard. We want that guy that's going to be dedicated to the craft and dedicated to seeing these Detroit Lions win football games. So that ultimately, at the end of the day, Brad Holmes is going to have to do his homework. He's going to have to answer the question himself. What do they do with DeAndre Swift? And is Swift the guy that they want to hold on to long term and give him a deal and extend him? So, all right, guys, this is Raw Detroit. I'll be back to you soon with another video. I'm out of here. Until next time, peace.